Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. This is Lifestyle Critic, where we break down movies and TV shows into their core elements. And in this video I'm very excited to review Love and Monsters. And I just wanted to say from the offset, I absolutely love this movie. I thought it was a really charming, brilliant hero's journey as this character navigates against all odds in this monster apocalypse. I mean, certain aspects have been done before, but the film definitely puts a refreshing new spin on it. And it is brilliantly led by Dylan O'Brien, and it's a really cool movie made on a relatively modest budget, and it was due to have a big massive theatrical release, but obviously due to COVID it had to go straight to streaming, and it just recently got its Netflix international release, and I just cannot wait to break it down for you in this movie review. So from a storyline point of view, the premise of this film is that a chemical fallout has taken place after an asteroid was heading down to Earth, which has resulted in insects and animals being turned into monsters. These giant monsters have taken over the Earth and wiped out humanity, and the final few surviving humans have retreated into colonies underground. The film then focuses on lead character Joel, who is a really nice guy that freezes in danger and has lost everybody. He is also an artist, so he definitely documents his journey throughout, and the film focuses on his journey to try and go to his girlfriend who is in another colony, which is going to take him 7 days to get towards. So he has to go into the outside world, somebody that is very terrified of monsters, and try to do a bit of a survival road trip adventure to try and get there. And obviously the film looks at whether or not he is going to be successful in doing this. There is a little bit of a predictable twist that happens towards the end of this movie, but then it takes another sudden turn that is very unexpected. So from a storyline point of view, it is very gripping, and the narrative style just makes it really compelling as well. So from a cast and characters point of view, relatively small cast in this movie, but they do such brilliant performances. So let's break them down one by one. So first up we have Dylan O'Brien, who's definitely the main character in this film as Joel Dawson, and he just does such an excellent performance in this film. Truly brilliant character growth and character transformation in terms of where the character is in the beginning to where he is at the end. Definitely overcomes so much adversity, and against all odds definitely is a truly different person, from being a bit of a scaredy cat in the beginning of the movie to being a really inspirational fighter towards the end of the film, which is really inspiring. He's actually really funny as well. I feel like his delivery of certain lines is absolutely brilliant. Some of the dialogue is really funny as well, and he's a great action hero as well. You can tell that Dylan O'Brien is truly throwing himself into certain situations, and the performance as a result is really cool. In terms of the humorous part of this character, I'd say it's very similar to Jack Quaid's performance of the Huey character from The Boys. I think there's a lot of similarity between the Huey character and the Joel Dawson character. Next up we have Michael Rooker. He's a bit of a funny mentor figure to the Joel Dawson character, definitely giving him advice on how to survive in the outside world with all of these giant monster characters. And every hero's journey definitely needs that sage of wisdom person, so Michael Rooker is definitely bringing that. Next up we have Dan Ewing, who plays a character called Cap. I won't reveal too much about this character, but he kind of is the person that is going to save everyone and save the day for everyone as well. Next up we have Jessica Henwick, who plays the girlfriend Amy character. She definitely provides a lot of motivation and something for the Joel character to fight towards, and for his destination to be attaining happiness. We then have the monsters themselves. They're not that many monsters, but there are enough monsters for you to definitely see the different type of creatures in this world, and each of them pose a different threat in terms of how they kill different humans. And then finally we have the members of the different colonies, so you can see what life is like from a survival point of view in terms of having loads of different humans confined to a very small space, and seeing what kind of human behaviors will be taking place. So from a cast and characters point of view, they've actually got quite a lot of depth to all of the different characters in Love and Monsters. So from a visuals point of view, this movie honestly looks really great. I mean, the concept is pretty far-fetched, and they could have done the monsters in a way where they look really lame, but actually it's pretty believable, especially the very life or death type situations that the characters find themselves in. So from a visuals point of view, the monsters look really great. Like I said, they could have done a few more monsters in this film, but if the franchise gets bigger, then hopefully they can introduce them then. And like I said before as well, Dylan O'Brien definitely throws himself fully into all of the action sequences, and as such all of those are very intense, very dramatic, but also very believable at the same time. And then finally the terrain that they're all in looks really, really cool. All of the locations that they go to, very different set pieces, from beaches to mountains to forest areas to the actual colonies themselves. So actually they packed quite a lot into this movie, even though the budget is not that massive. So from a visuals point of view, it's actually very impressive. So from a comparison point of view, there are certain aspects of Love and Monsters that you have seen before, such as, a man and his dog surviving against all odds. So they have borrowed certain aspects, for example, from I Am Legend, Mad Max, Monster Hunter, Zombieland. So there are other movies that they've definitely taken inspiration from. But like I said in the beginning, they definitely put their own spin on it, and the performances in this movie definitely make it its own. So from a comparison point of view, whilst it does have certain aspects that are borrowed from other franchises, it is distinct enough within its own right as well. So overall, I'm sure you can tell, I really enjoyed Love and Monsters. I think it's got an excellent narration style from the Joel Dawson character. There were really unique situations that he found himself in and the other characters found themselves in as well. It was very heart-driven, whilst also having a really fun tone in this movie as well. It does lend itself to having a bit of a sequel and even bigger franchise potential, and I hope they kind of go down that road. And I also think, especially from a lockdown point of view, by the end of this movie, it's actually pretty inspiring for people that have been locked up for quite a long time. And so for all of those reasons, I have to give Love and Monsters a solid 7 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you think, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.